Flip TV News. Here are the headlines. Now the news in details. The Canadian government has announced that from January 1, 2024, the cost of living financial requirements for study permit applicants for international students will increase from $10,000 to $20,000. Mark Miller, Canadian Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship, made this announcement in a statement on Thursday, December 7. For almost 20 years, study permit applicants for international students have remained at $10,000. This review, which takes effect from January 1, will help prevent students' vulnerability and exploitation. The news comes after the UK introduced a new set of rules that would make it more difficult for Nigerians and others to obtain a visa. Home Secretary James Cleverly announced the changes in the House of Commons on Monday. The government said it would now set a minimum annual salary for foreign workers to be eligible for a skilled worker visa at £38,700 from £26,200. The figure itself is more than the existing median average salary of a full-time worker in Britain. Meanwhile, President Tinubu's Special Advisor of Media and Publicity, Adegoke Gilale, has revealed that the president had actually issued a warning to his cabinet members urging those who have no relevance to COP28 to refrain from attending the event in Dubai. Adegoke Gilale provided clarifications on the attendance and President Tinubu's position regarding the recently concluded gathering.
I'm not afraid to say this in public. Before we left for Dubai, at COP28, the Monday before we left, at the Federal Executive Council meeting, toward the end of the meeting, President Bola Tinubu turned on his microphone and he said to everybody in the room, including myself, that he has issued a prior warning to the entire executive leadership across the federal government of Nigeria, that if you do not have any business to conduct on behalf of the federal government of Nigeria in any of these major summits, you have no business using taxpayer money to finance your trip and your logistics to that location. Before UNGA, before the UN General Assembly in September, we issued a statement from the presidency where the president made it very clear that not only was he massively pruning down the numbers that had initially been presented to him with respect to the federal delegation to UNGA, but he also issued a warning at that time that if anybody who is going on these trips has no business going on these trips, they will be sanctioned. That was then. That was September. Fast forward to the Monday before we left for COP28, the president said it again, and he said, this time I'm issuing to all of you a final warning. Anybody who is going to these trips to just hang around hotels or hang around convention centers with no articulated program of participation at COP28, if I find out that this is what it is, I'm telling you today that your jobs are on the line. This is the final warning. This is what he said. This is just days before we went to COP28. It was never made public. I'm making it public now. Now, of course, we go to the event, and then there's this massive stroke of misinformation passed through the public domain, particularly from the social media, with respect to this very bloated and massive purported number concerning Nigeria's delegation to COP28. I think the quotation was something like 1,400 or something silly like that. When we now put all the numbers down in terms of who the federal government of Nigeria was sponsoring to participate at COP28, you took almost 1,000 off of that fake number that people were peddling around, down to about 400 and something.
In other news, Prince Abdulfattah Adebayo Adeyemi, son of the late Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi, is reportedly dead. Flip TV gathered the prince reportedly died of diabetes at the University College Hospital, UCH Ibadan, in the early hours of Friday. The deceased was the candidate of People's Democratic Party (PDP) in the 2019 House of Representatives election in Oyo Federal Constituency. He lost the election to his brother, Prince Akeem Adeyemi, who was re-elected for a second term under the platform of All Progressive Congress (APC). The late prince was appointed by Governor Seyi Makinde as chairman of Oyo State Local Government Pension Board during the Omi Tuntun 1.0 administration. In another development, Nigerian rapper Oladipupo Oladimeji, popularly known as Oladips, has apologized to the public for the recent death orchestrated by his management. He expressed regrets for the confusion and emphasized that his illness was not a prank, stating that he was very sick. In an interview with Niger FM, which went viral on Friday, Oladips said he took full responsibility for the false alarm, vowing to surround himself with professionals while seeking forgiveness from his followers. He claimed that his manager would not have misbehaved if he was truly a professional.
To Nigerians and to my disciples, my core followers, I would never play with people's emotions like that. It was never a prank. I was sick. I was sick.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
I'm really sorry for the confusion and the distress and the false alarm and everything. I take full responsibility.
Oh, fine.
Because you didn't hear from my mom, you feel like this guy don't go. You understand?
Okay.
But if he was a professional person, that's why I said I take full responsibility,
Oh,
because
fine.
that is from me.
Okay.
You understand? If he was a professional, he would not do that.
Do such.
He would not.
Okay.
So I'm really sorry. Make una forgive me, I beg.
Official apology, and over to you Nigerians right now.
Finally, on the news, a woman has been arrested for attempting to burn down Martin Luther King Jr.'s birth home in Atlanta. Video from the attempt shows a woman pouring gasoline on the home's front porch, windows, and bushes around 5:45 p.m. on Thursday. Two tourists from Utah viewing the home were able to intervene to stop the suspect. One witness recalled the suspect began to grow irritated after she was having trouble spreading the fuel around the property. The suspected arsonist was then quickly detained by two off-duty NYPD officers who had been visiting the historical landmark and held there until Atlanta police arrived. Police said they were called to King's birth home on Auburn Avenue near the King Center just after 5:45 p.m. When they arrived, they found two off-duty NYPD officers who had been visiting the center had the suspect detained until they could arrive. Police say two tourists from Utah who were in the area saw the woman pouring gasoline on the home and interrupted her. And that's it on the news. For more updates, kindly subscribe and turn on your notification bell. I'm reporting for Flip TV.